Hi, I'm Pokemon Nuzlocke. In today's video, I'll be taking you on a journey through Kanto using the Pokemon Sableye to see just how easy or difficult it is to take on all of the Indigo League without using any items in battle.
So the early part of the game ends up being kind of a breeze. Pretty much all normal type attacks, and they can't hit ghost types, so yeah, I can kind of just breeze through all this. Brock is kind of a joke as well. I mean, I've got Nightshade pretty early here, and that just makes things really nice. So I head to Cerulean, take on the rival. He's not that hard. Then I get to Misty, where I keep getting critted and hit the water pulses, and it gets to be a little bit of a nuisance, and I'm having trouble getting past the Starmie here. It's getting a little bit annoying. And then I realized that I actually picked up the TM for Thief in Mount Moon, so I go ahead and use that because it's super effective. And does quite a bit of damage to Starmie. As long as I can live 2 water pulses and not get confused or hit myself in confusion, then it's a 2-shot KO on the Starmie, and go ahead and get that Cascade badge. So I head down to Vermilion City to take on Lieutenant Surge, and the Voltorb and Pikachu go down no problems here. And then the Raichu goes for double team, of course, but I managed to hit through and somehow beat Lieutenant Surge on my first attempt, which is pretty impressive. So up next is the Lavender Town rival, and I am pretty over-leveled here, so this battle's kind of a joke, to be honest. So I head over to take on Giovanni, where similarly, I'm pretty over-leveled here, and his team's not that threatening, and Sableye just kind of trounces through here on a first attempt. So Erica's up next, and she loves to use that Stun Spore action, and this is kind of problematic because it really just ruins the Rock Tomb strats for the speed. So I go ahead and equip that Cherry Berry, healing the paralysis, and then I get a lucky miss on the next Stun Spore, making it past here. I do get poisoned by the Tangela, and kind of now it's a trade-off here with the Violet Plumes of Nightshades, and I managed to get the win. And then I gotta fight one of the worst battles of the entire game. The Silphco Gary. Ugh. So this battle is a complete RNG mess. The Pidgeot can hit you with Feather Dance. The Growlithe can obviously burn you with Flame Wheel. He hits you with the Intimidate, which really just lowers that already pitiful physical attack. And if that's not enough, if you make it to the Execute, it's almost impossible to one-shot it. In fact, it's a very low probability, but it is possible, which is why I stick this out. But he'll always go for Sunspore, and then he goes for Leech Seed. And once you've been Leech Seeded, there's nothing you can do about it. Finally, after 20 minutes, I get the crit! Oh yes! Things are looking amazing! Finally get into that Blastoise. No Leech Seed, no paralysis. Agatha, you've got a shot here. You've got this. The hope is real. And then, of course, the Blastoise gets the flinch on the bite. Love to see it. Can it get any better? Yes. We miss a Rock Tomb, and that is it. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I am determined to win this battle. Oh, I must, and I get it again! Believe it or not, twice in a row! I make it past the Execute. Things are looking great here. Blastoise going for some protects, getting some free heals in here. I hit with the Rock Tomb, lowering the speed. Now I'm in control. Going for some Nightshades, going for some Shadow Balls. He's going for protect. He's giving me the free heals. Oh, love to see it, folks. Love to see it. Things are looking great. And the Blastoise goes down, leaving me with Alakazam, who Calm Minds. That's okay, because I got the physical Shadow Ball, and that is it. And finally, the rival is done. So I head up the road to take on Sabrina, and Ghost versus Psychic. I wonder who wins that battle. So I head on down to Koga, and the Muck is going to do everything in its power to minimize, but I have Paralysis Strat, so I can't get poisoned, and you keep trying enough, you're going to hit. Don't worry. Koga, you are going down here, and first attempt, love to see it.
So we head on down to Blaine, and this doesn't quite get as bad as the Self-Co rival, but it's a pretty long sequence of RNG here, mostly because Growlithe, as cute as he is, has the wonderful ability Intimidate, and that lowers Sableye's incredibly mediocre attack stat, and same with Arcanine, and of course there's Fire Blast, and I mean, look at that! Super effective Rock Tomb! Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. And then I go ahead and replace Thief with Water Pulse, and it still takes a couple runs here. Getting some burns, of course, the Rapidash loves to hit ya with the burn, but then I get that high roll. I hit with the Rock Tomb, lowering Arcanine speed, and he misses with Fire Blast. This gives me just enough healing here that I can potentially live a high roll Fire Blast, and he does get me with the high roll, but man, I live it. And we've already outsped, and there it is. We're done. We're guaranteed. We got it. Blaine is done. So I head up to take on Giovanni for the 8th gym badge, and my goodness, this is challenging, man. If you don't know how to press the A button, you are in big trouble for this battle, but luckily I do. Get that 8th gym badge, no problem. Which means that it's time to head up the road for the RNG simulator that is the battle with Gary. But this time I've got a level advantage, so despite the paralysis, I managed to beat it in a few attempts. Which means that it's time for the Elite Four. Yes. It's that time. I go ahead and replace Water Pulse with Shockwave, and things are going pretty nice on the first attempt, and then the Slowbro goes for Yawn Super Sag, and then the Crit Surf, yeah, not great. Happens again, get put to sleep, love to see it. Then, of course, we make it past without, and we don't have much health here. We try, but the Lapras is a tanky beast and difficult to defeat. And then Lorelei throws here, going for the Amnesia against the Physical Shadow Ball. Two-shotting the Slowbro, getting me to the Lapras. We're going to go for the Confusion here, but I went for the Shadow Ball, got the Sped F drop, hit through Confusion, get a good high roll against the Lapras here, hoping for another good hit here, and I hit through Confusion once again. Love to see it. Jinx is not going to be an issue with Shadow Ball, and Lorelei's done. And up next is Bruno, where things are going to get pretty easy here because I'm a ghost, and you can't hit ghosts with fighting type moves, so you gotta spam Rock Tomb. Yep, I've got the advantage. I've got the Psychics. No problem here. Bruno going down on the first attempt. Easy. Up next is the Ultimate Agatha Showdown, and she's got all the tools against you, you know, got those Toxics, got those Confusion hacks, and of course, the wonderful Double Team. But I get the RNG that I really so desperately needed here, and I managed to hit through like 4 Double Teams, and taking out the Gengar there was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. Golbat didn't pose much of a threat there. Haunter, of course, went down with a single Shadow Ball. And the Gengar did manage to put me to sleep, but I've got that stab, super effective Shadow Ball, taking out Agatha here on my second attempt. Love to see it. And now it's time to fight Lance, and the Gyarados leads things off with a sweet and beautiful Intimidate to lower my physical attack. Oh, I just love it. And if that's not enough, the Aerodactyl is going to be the problem of this battle. I did not predict that going into it, but it really was just so painful to get the RNG that I needed. So as you can see here, it's really hard to take out all of Lance's team with just the Sableye at level 67. But I think I can do it, and I want to stick through this. So I need really good RNG to get past the Gyarados with enough health to take out the Aerodactyl with enough health to then be able to take out the Dragonite. Not so worried about the Dragonairs. It's the Dragonite that I'm really worried about. Now, the Aerodactyl is problematic because it's very fast. So I need 2 Rock Tombs to take it out. However, if I don't take it out on the 3rd hit, it's going to Scary Face me automatically because the AI recognizes that I'm now faster and it's going to slow me down. And if it hits me with a Scary Face, I'm -2 and I can't outspeed the Dragonite. And then I'm in big trouble because he's either going to Safeguard so I can't Toxic to help stall, or he's going to hit me with an Outrage and just do a ton of damage. And not to mention that 3rd turn of damage is really critical because each turn I can heal from the leftovers. So if I don't get the roll that I need, get into the Dragonite with enough health, I don't stand a chance of being able to beat it.
And the Aerodactyl does so much damage to me that it's difficult to be able to survive more than a turn or two without being in range to get killed by that Dragonite. So it's really hard for me to be able to rest to get myself back up to where I need to be at. So that's why it's just so hard, and I do so many attempts here to get the RNG that I need. But eventually, I go ahead and just give up on the Toxic, and I go for double team strats here. It works on so many solo runs, and I'm like, you know what? If I can double team, then there's the chance that they're going to miss. And if they miss, I get an extra turn of healing via the leftovers. So it's just, I have to go for it. So I do. And now I go, and I'm making it through here. Making it through the Gyarados, tons of health. Making it through this Aerodactyl, tons of health. Now I'm going to Dragonite with literally full health. And he's going to outrage me, but that's fine because I'm going to survive it. So now I can survive 2 outrages. So if he gets confused and hurts himself in confusion, I have a really good chance here because I only need 1 Rock Tomb to be able to outspeed the Dragonite. So I probably should have gone for Shadow Ball here or Nightshade, but I went for another one. That's fine because now he's on his 2nd outrage. So there's a chance that if he hurts himself in confusion, I have a shot here. Now I probably should have gone for another move, and I don't know what's up with these outrages just hitting through. I think maybe it's an issue, and I've tried looking this up to see whether if he hits with the first outrage, does it lock it in as far as accuracy? Because I'm at +6 evasion, so he shouldn't be able to hit 3 outrages in a row. I mean, it's just kind of ludicrous. So I think that when he hits the first one, it locks it in. It must be. I tried looking this up, but I honestly, I just don't know. But needless to say, misses again on the next outrage attempt, which is really wonderful here, giving me plenty of time to heal up on the leftovers after the damage from the initial outrage after the rest. And I make it past the Dragonite, finally, getting me to the Dragonairs. Not too worried. Yes, they have outrage, but I've got Shadow Ball, I've got Nightshade, I can do a pretty good amount of damage, and they're not nearly as powerful as the Dragonite, so I'm not too worried here, and I'm hoping that I got a high roll, and of course he goes for that Thunder Wave. Love to see it, but misses with that next attempt, and there you go, Lance is finally done. And now, the battle with Gary. Of course he goes for Feather Dance, but I will double team, and I will force you into our relays. I know how the ways of the AI work, you see. For Agatha shall be crowned great champion. At only level 70, but we must persevere. Because Agatha possesses the power necessary to defeat the great rival Gary. For he shall go for full restores. Our canine shall go for intimidates. It is known that my physical power shall be weakened, but my perseverance and my spirit shall never be taken away. Executor shall not put to sleep, but a great champion. I shall be. Blastoise, you may try. But double teams have I, you see, for Alakazam. You reflect. Really? Did you think that you were going to beat me? I mean, let's be honest. Nothing shall crush the spirit of Agatha. For the crown champion, we are! Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you want to see more exciting Pokemon content, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell to get notified for all my future videos.